What made you think, wow, I'm an adult now? I used to think becoming an adult would be obvious. You'd graduate, sign a lease, maybe start drinking your coffee black, and magically know how to do taxes. But it didn't happen like that. The moment I actually felt like an adult wasn't at my high school graduation or when I got my first paycheck. It came quietly, one early morning when no one else was awake. And it wasn't even about me. It was about staying calm when someone I loved couldn't. I grew up in a small apartment with my mom and my little brother Noah. My dad left when Noah was still in diapers and I was about 10. No note, no goodbye. Just gone. Like the end of a bad magic trick. My mom never spoke badly about him. But she didn't make excuses either. She just worked. Double shifts, late hours, anything to keep the lights on. As a kid, you think adults just know. They know how to pay bills, what to do when the car starts making weird noises, how to keep everything running. I never saw the cracks until the morning she finally broke. It was a Saturday. I was 17. Noah had a soccer game, and I'd promised to drive him. Mom had come home at 4 in the morning from the diner. I heard the door click shut, her shoes soft on the floor as she tried not to wake us. I figured I'd let her sleep and handle the morning chaos. But around 7, I heard something in the kitchen. Not a normal sound, more like an uneven rhythm. I walked in and found her sitting at the table, head in her hands, gasping like she couldn't catch her breath. Her coffee sat untouched. Her name tag was still pinned to her shirt. She looked up at me, startled, like she'd forgotten where she was. I can't do it today, she whispered. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It was quiet. The kind of quiet that feels heavier than shouting. I froze, waiting for her to tell me what to do. She was always the one who knew. But in that moment, she looked so small. Something shifted. I walked over, knelt beside her, and put a hand on her back. It's okay. You don't have to do anything right now. I'll take Noah. I'll get groceries. Just go to bed. She barely nodded, letting me help her up. I pulled the covers over her and turned off the light. That was the first time I didn't wait for someone older to fix things. It didn't feel brave. It just felt necessary. I made Noah toast and peanut butter. We were out of milk. And told him Mom needed rest. That was the first lie I ever told to protect him. We got to the game late. He forgot his cleats, had to borrow a pair 2 sizes too big. He didn't score, but he smiled when I bought him an orange Gatorade afterward. Back home, Mom was still asleep. My phone buzzed with an overdraft alert. $12 in the account. Groceries weren't happening, so I made it a game. Find the most filling thing for under $5. He picked frozen taquitos and canned beans. I grabbed a loaf of bread and a dented can of soup with half the label torn off. That night, I sat at the kitchen table with a notebook, listing the bills I knew. Phone, gas, rent. And the ones I didn't but needed to learn. How to apply for food stamps. What happens if you miss an electric bill? I realized adulthood wasn't about having answers. It was about asking the right questions. Monday, I skipped last period and took the bus to the county office to apply for SNAP. I didn't know half the answers on the form, but I filled in what I could. On the way home, I stopped at the library, printed a meal planner, and wrote down everything in our fridge. Not to save for a vacation, just to survive the week. That night, Mom ate grilled cheese and soup while telling me Noah said I made him laugh. You're a good man, she said quietly. She didn't say growing up. She said man. And for the first time, I thought maybe she was right. A week later, my school counselor offered me a part-time library job. The pay wasn't much, but it was quiet and gave me a place to breathe before heading home. Mom slowly cut back on shifts. She slept normal hours. She even started laughing again. Noah began coming to me with his questions. Homework, clothes, soccer practice. One night he handed me a crayon drawing of the 3 of us. I had a cape. Because you always fix everything, he said. I kept showing up, even when it hurt, even when I was tired. One Thursday night, months later, I came home from work to find Noah asleep on the couch with his pencil still in hand. Mom was at the table, sorting bills. She looked up and said, You've been carrying a lot, more than I ever wanted you to. You didn't just hold on. You made us better. I didn't know what to do with that. I just sat with her in the quiet hum of the fridge, realizing I wasn't angry at Dad anymore. He missed everything that mattered. The next morning, Noah woke me early. Can you drive me to practice? I groaned, my back aching, but I got up anyway. And maybe that's adulthood. Not one big milestone, but 1,000 small choices to keep showing up. I'm still not sure exactly when I became an adult, but I know the moment I stopped waiting for someone else to tell me I was.